racing game and sim genre has continued its rapid evolution over the past year, with many class-leading releases landing in 2021, but trust us when we say that 2022 is set for an even more profound leap forward. This greater competition will lead to a bigger choice of better titles. We'll all win. The return of the classic console franchises Gran Turismo and Forza Motorsport duking it out head-to-head as if it's 2013 all over again. And the development of long-standing PC-based simulators will also heat up once more. Yearly sports franchises will see a return to the spotlight, with the two biggest implementing all new rule sets for the year ahead, and several motorsport series gaining new entries in the video game sphere. Accessible races will also expand in the year ahead, with at least one, but hopefully two, open-world driving titles returning to the fore. All the while, developers world over are starting to squeeze the best out of the latest generation PC, PlayStation and Xbox hardware, hopefully delivering engrossing experiences that envelop players into new and exciting worlds. Racing game and sim racing fans, we've never had it better, and 2022 will be no exception. The return of Codemasters' enigmatic racing series for the first time since the 2019 reboot adds in an expansive single-player career with team management and vehicle updates, a narrative-led driven-to-glory experience, and innovative online modes. Our early build hands-on also showcase a refined handling model and steering wheel support too. If it all fits together as it should, then Grid Legends could be a game that brings several people back to the series. Polyphony Digital's gigantic racing game series returns to its roots in 2022 after a sedate jaunt down the ranked online testing in GT Sport. We expect all the cars, content and online features of the spin-off to carry across, but built upon extensively with a brand new single-player career with the emphasis on car collection. Pretty visuals, solid frame rates and a trip through automotive history is assured, but its success will hinge on how the used car dealership, auction house, cafe and license tests work together to deliver a sense of progression that's been lacking in a Gran Turismo game for over 8 years. Announced back in November, the latest addition in the Monster Energy Supercross game franchise by Milestone is heading to major platforms in March. The popular dirt bike racing game will release its 5th iteration with the yearly updated roster, track list, and teams from the latest real-world season of competition. Supercross 5 will dive deeper into the career mode, adding a rider shape system and future academy for a clearer training structure. Local split-screen multiplayer as well as a refined track editor program will also be included. Online cross-platform play between the older and newer generation consoles is also on the menu. The official FIM World Championship game, packed with tons of bikes and fireworks, will look better than ever come 2022. The Test Drive series will return in 2022 for yet another rebirth, this time by the team at Kiloton and Nacon. The open world racer hits its stride in the noughties with the Unlimited franchise, seeing you explore islands filled with races and car dealerships. Unlimited Solar Crown will be a completely new entry in the series, and while gameplay is yet to be revealed, several game trailers have showcased a varied selection of licensed vehicles and a casino-inspired car gambling aspect. The location is a rather ambitious Hong Kong too. With a release date confirmed, we're expecting further details to emerge sooner rather than later. With Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on Switch still setting alight the sales charts, this new Nintendo exclusive Final Fantasy racing game will most likely outsell everything else on this list. You heard it here first. The fictional bird-like animal's own kart racer will feature a single-player campaign, custom race setup options, survival events, and a bracket-style tournament mode with online multiplayer thrown into the mix for good measure. Okay, so we know that KartKraft is coming in 2022, exactly when is still to be determined. Currently in early access, this realistic karting simulator features real vehicles, real tracks, and a real amount of challenge awaiting you behind your sim racing wheel. Only available on PC via Steam, KartKraft brings the essence of analog karting to sim racing enthusiasts. One of the most demanding disciplines in all of racing, it comes to life with accurate physics and handling. The full game is set to have tons of customization options from kart parts to stylish swagger. This game also works with VR, so if you want a fully immersive experience, be sure to give that a go as well. The full game will also have multiplayer and an expanded roster of content. A new officially licensed racing game is always something worth investigating, and we hope that with Dakar Desert Rally, the off-road rally raid scene will finally receive a game fans deserve. Since Dakar 18, the development team has become part of Saber Interactive, and the emphasis has been on reworking the physics platform that must include truck, car, quad bike and motorcycle handling all in one release. The initial reveal trailer knocked our socks off, so here's hoping we can see some gameplay soon ahead of its release. Missed out on the 2016 anti-gravity racing game Redout? Don't worry, sadly, you weren't alone. But the series will return in 2022 with a fresh lick of vibrant paint to match its pulsating soundtrack and action-packed racing. If that doesn't catch your eyes, the 72 track layouts and customizable machines will do. We're not just talking about just a lick of paint either, but mechanical and body updates that can be used or shared online. We're pumped for more Redout action and we'll be keeping you in the loop when more information is revealed. There are several other racing games that have been confirmed to be releasing in 2022 that we're looking forward to seeing more of, but don't have quite enough details about them just yet. CarX Street aims to be a Need for Speed rivaling open world street racer, Victory Heat Rally will bring the retro feels, and You Suck at Parking is a unique automotive puzzle game. The most hotly anticipated new version of an existing racing title must be the fabled Assetto Corsa Competizione reaching the current generation consoles. The early footage is spellbinding with 4K resolutions and 60 frames per second visuals, plus these versions receive free private lobbies and the commitment that the new physics and content for the PC version will be included. As an added bonus, those who own the game on PS4 and Xbox One will receive a free upgrade and the game saves will carry over. The officially licensed WRC10 will make its way to the Switch in 2022, presumably alongside Wreckfest. The latter was initially announced for a fall 2021 release, but with that season been and gone, 2022 now seems more likely. One of our favourite new simulator titles in recent times will also find its way onto Nintendo's hybrid console, but not before it appears on PlayStation 4. Off-road driving fetch quest title Snowrunner will receive the full new generation console uplift with a new PS5 and Xbox Series X and S version. Sim racing platforms will continue to evolve over the year too, with Assetto Corsa Competizione receiving Circuit of the Americas alongside a suite of new cars, and iRacing the Brazilian Stock Car Pro Series. Finally, not a single one of these next few titles have a release date set in stone, and most have not even been revealed yet, but we're sticking our neck on the line and predicting, based on nothing but initiative, that the following titles will launch in 2022. You can let us know how wrong we were in a year from now. We'd have to assume that Formula 1 and the folks at Codemasters and EA will want to continue upon the success of their franchise. While 2021 was an overall success, especially with the Breaking Point story mode, 2022 will have a lot of changes in store should they aim to be accurate. The 2022 car regulations in the Real World series must be a main focus, with different dimensions, tyres and aerodynamics. The new car will not only look different, but will likely drive different as well. On top of the new car, there's a new track entering the schedule down in Miami, so that would need to be added to the track roster. Speaking of tracks, both Spain and Abu Dhabi were altered in the 2021 season but did not get updated in the game. Will we see those updated venues in 2022? What about the changes to Australia that we unfortunately didn't get to experience this season? What about the changes to Eau Rouge and Raidillon that are in progress over at Spa? Only time will tell how much effort goes into the accuracy of the next iteration, and that's not even touching upon any possible new features. If a yearly sequel by Milestone for the world's premier prototype motorcycle Grand Prix Championship doesn't arrive in 2022, I'll eat my gaming laptop. Moto GP 21 was the first of the series to appear on PS5 and Xbox Series X and S, so we'd expect a follow-up to really maximise the hardware. In the analog world, the provisional Moto GP 22 calendar sees 21 events with the return of Argentina, Thailand, Japan, Malaysia and Australia, plus the first race for the new Kimi Ring in Finland. These venues are already in the existing game, however, an all-new track in Indonesia will need to be developed. It will also be the first Moto GP game without Valentino Rossi on the grid for over 20 years. Kiloton will release the 7th and final of its fully licensed WRC games next year, with the challenge of simulating the brand new Rally 1 regulations. How the developer implements the new for 2022 hybrid element to the cars will be extremely interesting, as the new contenders will begin their season on the 20th of January, with the game expected for a release around September. In theory, Kiloton will have some time to make any tweaks or add a coat of polish to its highly rated rally title. After some marked and continual improvement between WRC 8, 9 and 10, we expect more of the same for the franchise this time round. The real-world calendar sees the return of Japan and New Zealand, but these stages were in recent WRC games already. One round is yet to be confirmed, however, so the development team may need to turn around a new event in short order. After a tumultuous release with NASCAR 21 Ignition back in October, there will be a lot of fixing needed to remedy a future 2022 edition. The first attempt at an all-new NASCAR title in a generation was a bit of a dud after a slew of game-breaking glitches, missing features, and the absence of private lobbies. The paint booth was a highlight, but those schemes were locked to offline single-player only, which was yet another fallacy of the program. While both Auto Club Speedway and Worldwide Technology Raceway at Gateway have appeared in previous NASCAR games from the Heat series, both venues will be new to the NASCAR Cup Series calendar in 2022 and would be a necessary addition to the track roster. They will also likely need to be scanned similarly to how other tracks in the game were done. It would be expected that there will be NASCAR's next-gen racing cars that will be included, and it would be a shame if the racing didn't take place on the next-gen consoles this time around. Furthermore, the big start to the real season will take place at the brand new LA Coliseum track. While this race is a non-points paying event, it would be nice to see it in a new release. Fans of 90s BTCC game Toka Touring cars rejoice. The BTCC will finally have its own official game in 2022. After Toka Race Driver in 2002, this will be the first time the BTCC has featured so heavily in a racing game. Brief appearances of the Honda Civic NGTC and R-Factor 2 don't count, and the first appearance of the new hybrid-era touring cars anywhere in the gaming world. Slated for release sometime in 2022, Motorsport Games will hopefully bring over 30 faithfully rendered touring cars and drivers to the grid, plus all the circuits. Fans will especially be looking forward to rare, officially licensed versions of Croft and Thruxton. Following the lackluster NASCAR 21 ignition in 2021, the hopes are developer Motorsport Games turn things around for the BTCC game. How it appeases casual gaming fans and the hardcore sim racers alike will be key, but until we get some concrete details, we can only speculate. One to keep an eye on. The more serious of the Forza titles available, subtitled Motorsport, receives a full update in 2022. Except about that date, it's not been confirmed at all, and we even included this in our 2021 racing game preview only for it not to materialise. But it's now been 18 months since this title's initial reveal, and creative director Chris Izaki keeps making appearances on Microsoft's Forza monthly news streams, teasing fans with upcoming changes that include all new tyre and suspension models to, in theory, deliver a more authentic driving experience. Following the success of Forza Horizon 5 in 2021, 2022 is now the time for the Forza Motorsport series to be kickstarted and take the competition to Gran Turismo 7. Here's hoping. The last all-new game in this long-running 150 million selling franchise was a staggering 5 years ago. With EA's first-person shooter Battlefield 2042 requiring every hand on deck as it approached release, Criterion Games was pulled from the creation of a new Need for Speed. Development was not cancelled, but was paused. Originally slated for a release before March 2022, I think a new Need for Speed entry will be later this year, if not pushed into 2023. However, there's no way of knowing how early or how close to completion the new title was before the shift in priorities. Here's hoping it's ready for the holiday season. So that concludes our 2022 racing game and sim racing platform preview. We think if the majority of the titles listed above come to fruition, it'll be a year with plenty to discuss and one of the best ever for virtual driving enthusiasts. As ever, Traxion.gg will be your leading resource, so why not subscribe to the channel to not miss out on any new content coming your way this year. And yes, Happy New Year to you all. I hope 2022 brings you new opportunities and lovely stuff, and hopefully lots of time for games. Thank you very much for watching, keep it pinned, and I'll see you next time.